I work off-grid a lot, which means I need something that keeps batteries powered, especially when I'm doing stuff like I'm doing today, which is a lot of drone work using the Inspire 3, Mavic 4, my large Cine Lifter FPV drones. And for that, lately, I've been using the DJI Power 2000, and it has been awesome at keeping all my batteries charged, keeping me running with the Starlink, keeping my laptop powered, and pretty much anything else I needed to do, including making coffee. But in full disclosure, you need to know that DJI did send this unit to me to test and review and to make a video about. They're not paying for or sponsoring this video in any other way. I do get to keep the unit, and I've been using it for the last few months, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed because not only did they fix a few of the small issues I had with the Power 1000, but they've added a lot more capacity and capability to the Power 2000 now, which makes it much more useful if you're in places like I am today, where there's no power for miles and you're needing to power a lot of electronic devices. So let's jump into what makes this Powerstation so good, especially for drone pilots like me. First thing is the output capacity. It's gone to now 3,000 watts continuous, which even with all the batteries I'm charging now, this is pulling 16 amps, the Inspire 3 chargers on a max output setting to charge batteries faster. I've got the Mavic 3 or Mavic 4 batteries, computer controller charging. I've got my FPV controller charging, my goggle batteries charging, and it's still only pulling 1,300 watts, which means I still have 15, 16, 1,700 watts available to pull power. So I could literally put an electric heater on here and have it cranked to the max and still have room for more power, which is incredibly useful. Oh yeah, it's also powering the Starlink right now, which usually, I mean, it only draws about 100 watts, but still, like, that's a lot of power to be pulling and still only be at about a little less than 50% of the output capacity of this unit's power output. Another great thing about this unit is it's also compatible with the other accessories that DJI uses. So if you have the expansion battery, the 2,000 watt hour expansion battery that they released last year, then you can add that to the system, which means then you have 4,000 watts total, or 4,000 watt hours total of output power, because this unit is, like the name says, 2,000, a little over 2,000 watt hours of output, which is huge. But like when you're doing Inspire 3 batteries, that's basically 12 full sets of Inspire 3 batteries being charged from like 15, 20% to 100%. And because this is compatible with all their other accessories, if you did things like purchase the solar panels, which I have a solar panel and I've used to keep this thing topped off, works really well. But if you also have things like the super fast car charger, which I have mounted here in my car built in. So anytime I'm moving from location to location, the super fast car charger is putting in up to 1,000 watts back into the unit while I'm driving from location to location, which for me, most of the times is about an hour, which means, like, unless I'm under 50%, the thing is gonna arrive at the next location fully charged and ready to go for a whole nother set of charging batteries or whatever I might be doing with it. But also, if you didn't know, DJI's included these SDC ports on the front, which are super useful because you can pair them with things like these, which are fast charging cables that go direct to the drone. Now, this does a couple things. It saves you energy when you're transferring from the battery to the drone battery, because it's not having to convert from DC to AC and back to DC again. And these will recharge your batteries much faster than putting it in the regular charger, because it's intelligently talking to the battery and making sure that it's getting the most efficient and fastest possible recharge speeds without damaging the battery. So I typically run with 2 of these for the Inspire 3 for being able to fast charge, about 25, 30 minutes. 2 full Inspire 3 batteries. I have one for the Air 3, I have one for the Mavic 3, and I think I have one coming for the Mavic 4. But basically that means you can recharge a battery or a set of batteries, in the case of the Inspire 3, in the same amount of time it basically takes to fly a set, or by the time you're done flying, come back, unload cards and all that, you've got another set of batteries recharged, which is extremely useful if you're moving in a quick-paced environment. In the beginning, I said they fixed a few issues that the DJI Power 1000 had, and that's true. Let me show you what I mean. So this is the Power 1000. And this thing is great. I've used this in a ton of professional production environments to power lights, to keep batteries charged. I mean, this thing has been, well, this and a bunch of other ones have been a workhorse for me as far as keeping productions powered, especially when I'm away from power outlets or off the grid. But a couple of issues I've had with this is it only has 2 PD delivery ports, it only has 2 USB ports, it only has 2 AC outlets. And while I love the SDC system for being able to fast charge batteries and stuff, if you wanted to wirelessly connect to the Power 1000, you had to add this dongle, which means you lost an SD port. And then also if you added the expansion pack to this, you lost the use of this SD port, or SDC port. So while this unit has been phenomenal at powering a ton of productions where I didn't have access to outlets or easy access to outlets, those were some issues that I kept running into regardless. But they fixed that on the Power 2000 because essentially they've doubled the ports. Now you have, well, 3 AC outlets plus a much larger AC outlet. Then you have 4 USB-A ports. You have 4 power delivery ports, 2 of which are powered up to 140 watts, 2 of which are powered up to 165 watts. And they've now built in the wireless connection system so you don't have to add a dongle. That keeps at least one of your SDC ports free. But if you do add the power expansion battery or the expansion 2000 battery, then you're gonna lose access to one of the SDC ports. But another big upgrade they made is that the 2 SDC ports on the Power 1000 one of them is a full SDC port and the other one they call an SDC port Lite, which means it doesn't have the same capabilities as far as accepting input power or communicating with the expansion battery. So you had to be careful what you did with this. The Power 2000 now has just 2 that's the full SDC port. There's no difference between the 2. So you can plug into either one of them and it has the same functionality. And a quick note about the car charger, because it does recharge extremely fast. It's super efficient because you're going from DC directly to DC on the unit, so you're not having to convert, not a lot of extra heat generated, so it does recharge extremely fast. But even with that, if you're gonna plug this into power, like wall outlet power, the whole unit will recharge in 90 minutes, at least for the US. It's 75 minutes in the rest of the world, and I think that's because of the voltage differences. You're going from 120 or 220, depending on where you are in the world. But still, to be able to charge this whole unit from basically almost nothing or 0 to full charge in 90 minutes, an hour and a half, is insane because the capacity in this thing is huge. And on that, this unit is quiet. It is just like the Power 1000, extremely quiet, so quiet that I've been able to use these units on set, powering lighting right next to where we're recording audio for interviews and A-roll and stuff like that. So they are incredibly useful tools just in so many different environments and scenarios. So I'm currently between shoot locations. I'm waiting for some batteries to recharge. It's also coffee time because I started really early this morning. And yeah, but being able to make coffee out in a place like this without having to start up a, burner or something, gas stove or something like that, is pretty nice. And now it's time to go to the next location. So that got me thinking, where does that leave us? You've got the DJI Power 500, which is a great, small, portable system. Pretty easy to carry because it's pretty lightweight. Will power actually a fair amount of stuff. And yeah, something I bought because I have found it really useful. And then we have the DJI Power 1000, the one that DJI released last year, which I've used for a ton of productions. Will drive an Aperture 1200D for like right about an hour, which is amazing. Really, really versatile workhorse. It's heavy, but not that heavy. And then we have the DJI Power 2000, which actually is not that much bigger than the Power 1000. Like, it's not twice as big. Now, it is about twice as heavy, but it has twice the capacity in a just slightly larger body with a whole bunch more features. And this thing has been invaluable to me over the last couple of months, powering everything, because I can take just this unit. I don't have to take the expansion system, which I still do like, and you can use the expansion system with this battery, the DJI Power 2000. So if you need 4,000 watt hours of power, then there you go. But otherwise, this 2,000 watt hour unit by itself, for me, has powered pretty much everything I need to power without any hiccups, especially when you pair it with something like the fast charging car charger. It has worked extremely well. Next, you're going to watch this video right over here. I'll see you over there. As always, if you have questions, ask me in the comments below or join my live stream, which happens most Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern, where we can have more of a conversation. I can answer questions I didn't get to in this video. I'll see you again soon in the next one. Cheers.